Alright gentlemen, with this one right here, we are going to get into the assault, and we are going to get into his power sword and plasma pistol build right here for our definitive guide 7.0. Both new additions to the class, well, newest additions to the class, and a ton of fun to pair up. So we are running the fencing version of the power sword, and we're going to take a deeper dive into the class perks we're picking, why we're picking them, maybe some variations you can pick depending on your playstyle, and we'll look at the power sword and the plasma pistol itself. So let's get straight into the video.
Press on.
I'm nearing the vessel sight to us.
Okay, let's get straight into our prestige perks here. And first up, we are dropping Duelist because we have a fencing weapon. And with the fencing weapons, it's kind of overkill to have Duelist out, so we're going to take some damage reduction instead. We have Adrenaline Boost after a perfectly timed parry. You get your knockback resistance. Then we have Fortitude. We have Practiced Aim. And we have Scramble Targeting. And this is what we're picking up for Duelist. Instead of Duelist is going to be surrounded by 5 or more enemies. You take 20% less damage from ranged attacks. And then when we come up to our first core perk here, we're going with Armor Reinforcement. For our non-finisher gun strikes, restore 1 armor segment. So we're going to have a ton of gun strikes having the power sword and it being in the fencing version. But if survivability is just not a thing for you, then you will take Overcharge instead, because it's going to make your power rake and your power whirl 25% stronger. But armor reinforcement, very strong. I like to take that. And then we have auxiliary arsenal up here. Our secondary weapon damage increases by 20%. We are really trying to put a lot of power into our secondary to make up for any damage that we're losing from not taking a blocking weapon and things like that. So we have 20% here, we have 15% here, and then we'll get into our later perks that are also increasing our secondary. We have knowledge of the enemy, and then we also want our 30% more gun strike damage, precision strike, maneuverability, diligence, and then this is the other one, ample ammunition, which any use of the gun or the jump pack reloads and equips through ranged weapon, which we don't care about with the plasma pistol, but it increases the damage by 50%. So with all the other, damage multipliers we have onto the secondary, it makes it very strong for you to go into a couple charge shots right after you, hit your ground pound, go into a couple charge shots, and you're going to deal a ton of damage with it. And you can get your executes off very, very quickly that way. So it's very nice to pair that with the plasma pistol. But we will go into the power sword first and go into exactly how we are speccing this out right here. So we're just going with a lot of damage multipliers here at the beginning. But then here at the end is where you're going to have some options for yourself. You're going to go with whatever 100% more contested health is going to suit your play style better. So either power style or speed style. And then if you do not want any type of survivability here, you will go with the 20% more damage to minor enemies instead. So that is what I would recommend. I like the speed style when I'm going against the chaos enemies. Usually if I'm going against Tyranids, I will go with the power style contested health. And that's just usually how I like to run it with the assault personally. I usually drop the minor damage, but this does help a little bit when you are using the fencing power sword. So all three of these are pretty good right here. And then let's take a look at the plasma pistol. And like I said, this thing is going to be very powerful throughout, and you're going to want to use it really as much as you can, and definitely use it after any time that you get a ground pound off, and anytime that anytime that you can, go ahead and get a charge shot off as well right after a ground pound. We're looking for the increased ammo mostly, and our increased radius, I would say, are the most important ones, because we really are grabbing most of our damage from our class build itself. So anything else would just really be, overkill. You're still grabbing another 10% damage here, and then 20% radius, and I think it's 60% ammo now, which is pretty insane. So it's I think you start with like 190 something ammo. So it's a lot of ammo, 19 charge shots, and the power sword, make sure you are using it, with the power rake a lot, as much as you can. And honestly, the power whirl feels pretty nice against minor enemies. So if you can get in there with a diving, like a diving swing or something with your diving attack, and then go straight into a power whirl. It does a lot of damage as well. So it feels really good. I'll throw up some gameplay here in a second, but I do appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I will catch you on the next one.
The glory Magnus promised you. Take flight and let terror fall. Avenging angel at your disposal. Turret clear. Press on.
Are nearing the vessel's sight, Talassa. Ensure nothing further impedes your progress.
I scatter your foul silk to the wind's eye. Jump pack refuel. The scarab accounts for northern symptoms. Intercepting projectiles. Now consumed. Ready another fire trap.